A child's playing gets out of hand at his family's home in Suitland. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Byron Scott. Our first story tonight, a Clinton family displaced by a fire. This happened early this afternoon. This house went up in flames in the 12,000 block of Lunan Road. At one point, the blaze so intense that firefighters were forced to evacuate the structure. The cause under investigation. There are no injuries, but 4 adults and 2 children have to find new accommodations. An investigator say an 8-year-old boy is responsible for a fire in Suitland last night that left 2 families without a home. Firefighters were called to an apartment in the 3900 block of Southern Avenue at about 6:15. The fire was set in a bedroom closet on the 2nd floor. Now, investigators say the child was playing with a lighter when he set the blaze.
Falls into the lines of a common problem we see with males, children around the ages of 7 or 8 and less, that have a curiosity about fire, and they obtain some type of matches or lighter, and they ignite this fire, and that appears to what have occurred last night.
Was injured. The Red Cross is helping relocate the affected families.
It's day 2 of the Zainab Kamara trial. The Bladensburg woman is charged with multiple counts of abusing vulnerable adults. CTV's Sonia Srivastava has more.
Well, so far, a dozen witnesses have testified, including some of the victims who have said that Zainab Kamara took advantage of their situation. Now, the prosecution says that she ran an illegal assisted living facility out of her 2-bedroom apartment in Bladensburg. Several law enforcement officers and detectives testified this morning on behalf of the prosecution. This woman, 34-year-old Zainab Kamara, is charged with running an illegal assisted living facility inside a 2-bedroom condo here in the 5200 block of Newton Street in Bladensburg. Kamara would search for adults in hospitals and rehab facilities who had nowhere else to go and promised to take care of them. The majority of the victims are senior citizens. One elderly woman testified that sometimes there were as many as 8 people living inside the roach-infested 2-bedroom condo. Another elderly woman testified that there was no heat, the stove and oven didn't work, and there was hardly any food. Kamara is charged with 60 counts in 2 separate cases. She was offered a plea deal but refused. Now a judge will decide her fate. Now the prosecution will continue to present its witnesses. The defense will get its chance tomorrow. I'm Sonia Srivastava in Upper Marlboro. Back to you all in the studio.
Thank you. And the trial of a former middle school principal who allegedly assaulted a 7th grade student is in its 2nd day. Latifah Majid is in Upper Marlboro with more on that story.
Well, the 14-year-old student that Dwight Jefferson allegedly assaulted took the stand today, and the judge almost threw the case out because the student became angry and disrespectful towards Jefferson's lawyers during the cross-examination. While on the stand, the student told the jury that on September 23rd of 2014, he was running late to class when Jefferson stopped him in the hallway and told him to go to a conference room in the office. The student said when he got to the room, Jefferson told him, quote, "I don't want you in this school anyway," and then punched him in his stomach twice and once in his face. Jefferson has been charged with 1 count of 2nd-degree child abuse and multiple counts of 2nd-degree assault. In Upper Marlboro, I'm Latifah Majid, CTV News.
Jefferson was hired by the school system in 2002.
The Prince George's school system is investigating a filmed incident of a Laurel High student being assaulted by a security officer. The video sent to NBC4 by a parent not related to the victim shows the guard picking up the girl and throwing her to the ground. The school system says although it's unfortunate that the security officer had to use force, the situation escalated to a point where it was necessary for his protection and others around him. Due to confidentiality reasons, officials cannot share any further information. So far, there have been no formal complaints made by the teen or her family. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Byron Scott.